Okay guys, so this is Bush Creek below us, the famous Bush Creek. We're just climbing up what we call Big Sawpit. It's a local sort of track. 99% of tourists got no idea it's here, which is why we do it. So it's off Sawpit. There's a semi-locals only entry point. You just climb up over these beautiful hills. That's the Macetown Road just in front of us. Very famous in New Zealand. And that goes up to the old gold diggings. You see a couple of people walking on there now. We're climbing up to that tree line just there. That Sawpit Big Hill or Big Hill Track. And then from there we're just going to traverse to the left. We're not climbing over the back. And this is Phil. So down there is Lake Hayes, world-class Remarkables ski field, ARROWTOwn, some of the most expensive real estate in New Zealand, that is ARROWTOwn. This is one of the richest gold mining regions in all of New Zealand, hence why they're about to open another gold mine. Down here is the footbridge and the water supply into ARROWTOwn. Now that footbridge there, when they're running the famous Motatapu. So we have a event here every year, a lot of events here actually every year. The two biggest events for Queenstown are the Queenstown International Marathon, which is one of the most scenic marathons in the world, on the world circuit. You just Google that, Queenstown Marathon, you'll see that. That's on this Saturday coming, second weekend in November. I'm a team leader marshal for that one this year. And then you've got Motatapu, which starts way over the back of these hills here in a little town called Wanaka. Roy's Peak is probably one of the most popular social media shares for a hill climb with scenery, and over the back of that is where Larry Page from Google and quite a few other billionaires live. And the mountain bike ride comes down this track. It's about 90 kilometers from memory, maybe a little bit less. E-bike is able to be ridden now. Obviously don't use your power downhill or have a second battery, and it comes all the way down across that footbridge if the river's too high. So about 10 years ago they had a river, and the organisers didn't really get onto it soon enough, so they had a couple of bikes washed away along with a couple of people. The competitors were grabbed. They were city people, no real experience or idea on how to cross a boiling, flooded river. They shouldn't have really been in it anyway, but that's what you get with people from the city. They had to push about 400 riders across that footbridge, which obviously had a lot of fun and games along with it. And it was absolutely pissing down for most of the day. I'll never forget it. I was doing the mountain bike section. There's my wife way ahead of me, as usual. But yeah, big gold mining area. Still a lot of gold out here, but almost impossible to get to because of our covenant protection on our Crown land and national parks, which is great. This is Phil. Okay, so we drop down in this beautiful southern beech forest. It's what makes New Zealand right up there with one of the world's top destinations, guys. Beautiful, cool forest on a warmer, hot day. We're just going to climb up this cutting now up to the Big Hill bush line. Okay, now we've got this. It goes up and up and up. This is the cutting. Whew. And the old fella's still got it in him, even though he's more of a tortoise than a hare. So this is the east side of the Southern Alps in the South Island. So Southern Beach down through here is quite a lot different to the west side. So the west side gets up to 7 metres of rain a year. One of the wettest corners on the planet. So a lot more fern and a lot more moss, etc. This side, quite a lot different. The fauna and flora, even the bird life and bird activity. But these forests are absolutely magnificent, hence why Hollywood's been coming here for decades to film some of their blockbusters. Because look at it, the canvas is already written. So there's a track that runs the whole length of New Zealand. It's both the North Island and the South Island. And it's called the Te Aroha Trail. And any given year, there's quite a few hundred people that nail the thing, knock it off. A lot will start, they'll get to sections and call it a day. And then if you're living in New Zealand, you've got the added advantage of being able to drop back into the trail anytime you want. You can do it in sections actually. So this is a section of it. And it starts in very, very top of the North Island called Cape Reinga, right up north of Kaitaia Township, way up in the beautiful subtropical north, a bit like sort of Queensland, Sunshine Coast, Noosa sort of weather in Queensland, Australia, and then finishes down at the very bottom end of the South Island in a place called Bluff. Wow. So in the 1860s to 1880s and early 1890s, literally thousands of gold miners prospecting all around this area for around about 250 square kilometres, way east, west, north of us, and also south of us. And if you zoom right into the gap, you'll see some white buildings. That is Queenstown International Airport. And being an international airport, and in the mountains, short runway, it's limited to taking a Boeing 737 series and Airbus A320, 321 Neos. The runway's quite short, therefore they're limited to the size of the jet. So those international flights only come internationally from Australia. So people obviously coming through, transiting from the Northern Hemisphere in Asia, will come in via Auckland or Sydney. So this is the main sawpit track here, guys. Running down there on our left, we're coming into the zigzag. This is used by mountain bikes, but we've been coming in here even during the COVID lockdown 4 years ago, and I think we've seen about 3 bikes. So you just keep an eye on what's happening behind you, but it's a much nicer descent down into beautiful Millbrook Golf Course, one of New Zealand's top 5 golf courses.